Brian, how you doing? I've known you now for probably over half a decade, at least over
Mm,
half a decade, and you've
Pretty close,
always
yeah.
been very consistent. You've always been in the right rooms.
Yeah.
You've always been doing something when it comes to real estate. And not only you, but I think your other half, and I think, the message you have. Anyways, you do so many amazing things, and I actually wanted to highlight you because you're going to be coming to Recon on September 6th. And I want everyone else to see how amazing you are. If you haven't had a chance to meet you yet, Brian, can you introduce yourself and even talk a little bit about your journey in real estate so far?
Yeah, sure. And you're absolutely right. Actually, we met before you were even a realtor, so going that far back. Yeah, so a long time we've known each other. My journey in real estate started in 2008, going the way that most real estate investors should not go, buying condos and small properties and all the stuff that doesn't work but is nice and cheap. So did that, sold out and all that, got into suited properties, and over the last little bit, I've been getting into multifamily. So a lot of evolutions in how I went about real estate, and I actually have also a license in the private equities market. So a lot of different ways to help out my investors and get them rolling in real estate faster than they thought they could.
Has it always been really easy? Is investing in real estate really easy?
No, no. So I actually dropped off an eviction notice this morning. It's pretty rare. Doesn't happen a
Okay.
whole lot, but
Yep.
yeah, it does happen occasionally. But no, no. There's always been times where you're frustrated, you're stressed. There's too many things going on, and you don't know how you're going to handle it all. There was a time in 2016 actually where I almost hung it up, like, and just said, like, to heck with this. I don't want to do this anymore. And that's where you mentioned my other half. She said, no, 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 no. Real estate's the thing. We're gonna sit. We're gonna draw a line, and we're gonna keep on going down that line. And sure enough, here we are today. Our portfolio from that point to now is probably three or four times as big as it was back then. So it all works out in the end. You just got to keep pushing on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
your why, Brian? Why do you do real estate investing? Just out of curiosity,
Uh,
what's the
yeah,
fuel in the engine?
yeah. So earlier on, it was just kind of, it was a way that made most sense to me to become wealthy. That was the early on stuff. Since then, I've had kids. Now it's really just a method for me to free up my time. The way I live my life day to day, I can drop my kids off at school. I can have supper with them. We're going golfing tonight. Things like that can happen because, like, I've been able to free up enough of my time and my energy and my resources to not have to work like all the time and not have to like just do the grind. And there are days where it feels like a grind, but nowadays it's my kids and just building that future. So we can travel, we can like have vacation properties, we can do all that stuff that real estate allows us to do.
Without real estate, do you see yourself having the same level of freedom that you do right now and lifestyle?
Oh, no, no, not at all. Not only the level of freedom would be totally different, but who I am would be totally different. Like the person I evolved into, and the stresses I can handle, and the accomplishments I can take on nowadays would never have happened if I hadn't dived in and like, got down and dirty and did all the stuff that a lot of people aren't willing to do in real estate. That evolved me into someone who can just keep growing and growing and growing and growing into the future. And I think I probably would have plateaued and like leveled out at some point, probably about a decade ago. And I might even be that same person. So I'm super happy who I am. Never mind like all the wealth that came along with it. That's kind of like a cherry on the top.
There's a lot of people that are going to be listening to this and that are going to meet you at Recon, and a lot of people are going to want to be where you are. What's some advice you could offer somebody that's looking at getting to this? Maybe a father, a mother that
Yeah.
doesn't have the opportunity to have the freedom that you have. What are some of the steps that you can recommend that they get into to, you know,
Yeah.
what are the steps where they can start?
The very first step is just have patience. Like sometimes I look back at my real estate career and I go, you know what? Like, I didn't really move fast enough. I made too many mistakes. I could be here, I should be there. And the reality is that it all happened, and it's still happening today. So sometimes it's hard to see that into that 5-10 year future, where all of a sudden things are rolling faster than you expected. So my first piece of advice would be have patience. Just have patience and consistency, and keep your foot on that pedal. Even if you can only keep it on the pedal just a little bit, keep going, and you'll get to where you need to go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And where are we going to see you in 5 years? Do you think, Brian? What are your goals? Because I mean, you've done so much, you've stayed on it, and I mean, one thing that Brian brought up that we didn't spend a lot of time talking about is like there's many times where you want to quit, and
Yeah.
having a good support structure there, having a sounding board. I mean, to pick you back up, having a strong team is just so important. And maybe without that, maybe you wouldn't be in real estate right now, right? So
Okay.
I do want to shine I do want to shine a light on that and how important that is as well. So don't feel like you need to tackle this alone. It's important to be a part of a community, right? Whether it's your spouse or even a part of the recon community. Brian, you've been a part of a lot of different communities. So even just reach out to Brian, like follow Brian on social media, reach out to him, ask him, hey, these are my goals. Do you have any recommendations? He is an excellent resource, one of the best genuine resources you can come across. Brian, what are your goals in the next 5 years? What are you thinking?
So yeah, they are a lot bigger than they were even just a couple of years ago. Our goal early on, like 10 years ago, was I think about 5 million in real estate, primarily suited properties. We've revised that. It's now $50 million in multifamily. So we're aiming for $50 million in multifamily investments over the next 5 years. We're on track so far with the right number of doors and the right number of properties. So yeah, that's the goal. And I mean, if you'd asked me 5 years ago or 10 years ago, and I was talking to myself saying the same thing, I'd be like, yeah, right. Like, it's yeah, you're out of your mind. But now it is a very realistic thing, and I just encourage you. That's where I say the patience. Like, have the patience. It will come, and then all of a sudden, your dreams and your goals will be bigger than you can imagine them to be. So that's where I see myself in 5 years. I also see myself helping out a lot of people. As you said, reach out to me. I love helping people. I love sitting down and solving problems. I do that like pretty well on a weekly basis, and it's just so rewarding to know that I can also create a difference in someone else's life the way that real estate created a difference in my life. Yeah.
I think it's amazing. You're going to have the opportunity to meet Brian at Recon September 6th and 7th. I just wanted to give you all a sneak peek of how amazing Brian is. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm and go up there, go for coffee, create that connection. If you need resources, he's there. He's very resource rich. Not a lot of people are, but he's very resource rich. So he will help you, with what you need and connecting with the right people. And you want to be in the right room, and that's Recon for September 6th and 7th. Brian, thanks so much for coming on today as well.
Not a problem.
We're
Thanks for having me.
going strong, and then we are going to dive into a lot more coming up here soon. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Take care. See you soon.
See you soon. Bye, guys.